Hey, you guys, Kareem Jackson, you are live on the set, and I'm going to take you around the world with me. My dream as a minimalist CEO, turning my clients' dreams into reality is what I do, showing that success is truly for everyone. Hey, you guys, I've got new shows weekly. Stay tuned and live your best life.
What's up, you guys? It's Kareem Jackson. You are live on the set. I am so glad you are here having my coffee today, everybody. You guys have asked me so much about how I went from print to digital, or from print to online to digital, actually. You guys have been asking me how I did it because a lot of my friends, you guys have magazines, you guys write books, you guys do a lot of paper stuff, you have calling cards, you have, printed flyers, you have all these things all over your offices, or all your career was built on it. But now that the world has changed, now you're trying to figure out, well, how the hell do I reach people in their houses, on their phones, on their cell phones, on their tablets? And so I did that about 10 years ago. I started, we've kind of improved it, and we've always maintained digital copies, but mainly they were used for a sales tool. We didn't have you have readers that read our online versions. We didn't promote them at all. We didn't send links out at all. They were mainly when we were sitting with the client and they wanted to see a magazine or see something in our magazine, or we wanted to show them, we would just used to flip through our magazines or flip through our tablets or send them a PDF so they could see it, because maybe they were abroad, because we went international about 10 years ago. But now, oh my God, digital is the thing. Digital is all over the place. Everyone is doing it. People that I know that have magazines that are huge magazines, way bigger than me, you guys. They are now scuffling around, figuring out how to go digital, how to get their stuff online. And let me tell you this, for customers, for advertisers, people think that it's changed. Printing didn't die. It just went less, it's just less valuable. But a lot of people, they want our hard copies of our magazines, of our books, all that stuff. And a lot of people don't understand what online is. But of course, digital now, it's a whole new audience. It's a whole new marketing opportunity for you. And advertisers, they need to figure out how to reach people. So of course, if they go to you and you're an advertiser or a magazine or a publishing, or if you are doing a book and you say to them, oh, I'm going to also be digital, that's another added bonus. I mean, that's a huge advantage, because now, because most publications, especially internationally, and you guys are kind of on it, but internationally, you guys, no one really did it. So what happened is that now, if you are digital, or you are going digital, or you're going to launch a magazine or launch your book and it's already going to be digital, you have an advantage. So anyway, you guys understand that when it comes down to it, digital is really good, and it opens up a market. If you have the perspective of it's changed the market or printing's dead, that's not actually true. People love hard copies. The old dudes, they want our magazine sent to them. They want a hard copy. Even clients, when you walk in face-to-face for advertised presentation, they really want an online copy. Then what happens is there's a whole client market of people, our readership of people, our customers to your restaurant, or your salon, or your spa, of people that are only digital. So what happens is that you have this market that you never had before. So what happens is you actually grow your market, because now in your marketing, you can say in print, online, digital. You can say, hey, you guys, order my food from my restaurant. We have our menu here for you. You can come in and get the in-print copy for the local folks that walk around, those little folks, ones you take out of the restaurant. When they sit into your restaurant, they can hold the menu in your hand. Or you can get our online copy, which means they can go to your website and they can see your menu page. And then you just look up and go, okay, I want to go through and I want to have my digital copy, which means they usually can use it on their phone. They can see it on their phones here. So that's the difference between print, online, and digital. So let's get right to it, you guys. First of all, you guys, when it comes down to the real reason why I did it, let's just be honest. Post-COVID-19, people are asking me, is print dead? If you guys have not understood what actually happened and what print really is, then you are missing the whole situation of the whole print thing. You don't really understand what it means. So if someone asks me, for example, is print dead? It used to be where that was kind of like, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, how am I going to make money? No one wants to get my print copies anymore. And what are we going to do with our magazines? And about 10 years ago, that's why I did it myself. I reinvented myself, because everyone thought that print was dead. First, they went from use recycled paper. That was the thing. It was about saving the trees and cutting back. And then we had to use recycled paper, our local printers, and things like that. And mind you, at that time, the prices went crazy. I was paying $100,000 US, you guys, every issue for my magazines back in the day in Kansas City, Missouri, Minority Success magazine, you guys. That magazine killed us for printing. killed us. And I'll tell you, digital saved our company's lives. So if someone asks me, is print dead? It's kind of like, come on now. One, readership is not dead. What happens is, you guys, people are still consuming more data now than ever. It used to be that when you had a print magazine or a print book or a flyer or anything like that, you had to pay folks to distribute. And after the printing of the magazine, my distribution of the magazine, we had events and mixers for 500 people or 800 people. We launched a red carpet events and things like that, because back in the day, you may think of it as promotion, which partly it was, but that was distribution. We were mainly making sure that we got our magazines in the hands of the who's who of the city. So that's how we had fabulous launch parties. So if you guys are asking if print is dead now, first of all, that's a completely false narrative, you guys. Some print is dead, but that's the real statement. And mind you, the ones who really got hurt in the situation are the printers, the ones who had millions and millions and millions of dollars invested in football fields of printing machines and printing presses. Those are the ones that really have been hurt in the crisis. Publishers like me, where you're niched into certain demographics like women or men or gay or things like that, or if you're a restaurant and you actually have menus in your restaurant, you guys know that those can cost $100 each, not including the photography, the graphics, the printing, but the $100 just to get that thing in your hand. You got to have 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 tables, guests worth of menus to hand to these people. It can be really expensive. That's why people had that little cheap crap that they just printed up really quickly. And instead of printing it again, they X out the price and they give you the menu and here the new prices went in here, because it was expensive and timely to print. Those who were progressive, though, like me, marketing to consumers, fans, following, and readership, COVID-19 just raised the value of what was already happening. And the nice thing, unlike before when Americans had a recession in 2008, you guys, it was global all of the time. The corner burger stands, you guys, can look just as good at McDonald's, right? The pizza place on the corner, right, can look just as good as Pizza Hut. So then what happens is now you don't have to really rely on the paper. If you have a menu, you can send the menu to your clients ahead of time to their house. If you have a marketing piece or a sales formula, you can create a funnel. You can create a marketing website just for that now, because now everyone's digital. No one has an issue looking on their phone or their tablet or even their laptop to figure out if they want to use you for business. So number one, we already talked about. Number two, you got to outsource everything, you guys. Something all businesses, entrepreneurs, or celebrities can do. You guys can all do this. The core of publishing now is sales of the advertiser. That's the thing that's actually changed. Number one was, do I think print's dead? I don't think it's dead. It actually changed to where now they have online, imprint, and digital, and then interactive events, right? So then now what happens is outsourcing everything. So what I've done is I've outsourced my entire business. I don't focus on, of course, from my print company, my marketing company, the photography anymore. Now I can see a photo shoot live from my laptop from anywhere in the world. I don't need to actually be there physically. Printing now is so inexpensive when you go global and you outsource it that if I don't need to actually go to the printing press, I can actually have 5 or 10 demo copies pre-printed of my magazines sent to me directly wherever I am in the world. I can see them and then I can credit them or like them or edit them and then tell them what to change and then send more. And it's not like it used to be where no one can do that. Anything that you do not, before we had in-house graphics designers, 30. So I needed 30 desks, I needed 30 pens, phones, I needed phone lines, I needed laptops, I needed all that stuff for 30 people. We had the same number of salespeople. So each salesperson needed 10, 20, 30 copies of the sales kits. So I had 30 times 30, I had 1,000 copies I needed to print of the sales kits, which were crazy expensive back in the day. Now you don't need that anymore. Answering phones. You can have your own phone or an office phone that you don't publish, that you only use to mainly outbound and call people for questions or communication once they become a client. But the actual phone number that goes onto your marketing materials, you don't need that anymore. And most people, they like emails. They like social media. I book interviews with politicians and mayors and governors and things like that on Facebook. I've sold contracts, for example, for departments of tourism around the world on Facebook. They look on my sites. So now everything has changed. You can outsource all of that and really have it to where you're free. And if you're on the phone talking to someone, or if your company is talking to someone on the phone, it's not just random calls and things like that. So at the end of the day, keep that in mind, you guys, that you need to outsource everything. That's a big key component of that. And then you'll realize immediately once you do that boom, this is a new business model I never thought about. People just really do not understand that the opportunity that printing versus digital has given to people. Now, mind you, printing, online, digital, that's the way you actually go. That's what you actually should say to your clients. You don't just say digital. You want to make sure that they understand that if you offer print versions, you offer online versions, and you offer digital versions. And of course, after that, interactive events. So there's 4 different type of ways you can market your clients when they do that. But what that actually does for you, which most folks do miss, that I notice a lot, is that they miss the fact that because of that, this has actually changed their entire business model. They miss the opportunity to understand that from going from print to digital, it should not be a crisis, people. It should not be stressful. It is a kick-ass opportunity for you. That's what it is. Any business from print to digital, especially magazine printers and book printers and things like that, it is not one or the other necessarily. It's a completely different business opportunity for you. You can be competitive by offering all of these options to your customers. But what happens is when you go to the customers, you can now showcase their business, showcase their ad, or you can now publish their book in all of these different areas. Understand this. The next thing, you guys, is that after the new business model and all that great stuff happens, after you understand that, then the next thing is that now you have the opportunity to have an anytime promotion. That's the value of print to digital. Now people see ads without even knowing it. You can advertise to someone, they don't even know there's an advertisement. They think that they were searching for it. It was already there. That means someone was hoping that you would find it. So now there's search engine optimization that gets you out there. So everyone sees ads now. Everyone sees, they're bombarded every day with tens of thousands of ads and marketing and logos and media every single day. Whether you're on your phone, in your home, driving down the street, you can reach anyone, anytime. Anyone. You can market to rich folks, poor folks. You can market your food. You can market your magazines, your books. You can market your services. Anything you want, anytime right now to people. Keep that in mind, you guys, that anytime promotion ability to reach anyone, any single time. That's the one thing I love about it. So that was number 4, you guys. So number 5, I promise you guys, we're talking about publishing versus the digital media company, you guys. The publisher is now the digital marketer or online influencer and advertising salesperson are now the new online affiliates or the online influencers, which evolve our business, saves trees, and is better for the consumer's perspective. What happened is, you guys understand this. Now, before I had sales guys on staff selling advertising. They had calling cards, they had gas allowances, they had budgets to take clients to lunch, they had uniforms or they had nice clothes they had to wear, fabulous makeup, they had magazine copies in their hands to show the physical copies of the magazines, last issues, and things like that to sell ads. Now, those folks are called online influencers. They're called digital marketers. Those are my sales folks now. I have people that sell for me, or we try to get them to sell for us. But now, truthfully, we can also sell online. Like right now, I can sell ads for this show. That changed. The influencer, you guys, is now the one you need. So, for example, if you go from print to digital, you don't need someone passing out flyers for your restaurant. Now you need online influencers, online SEO, online boosting to promote that, because now the flyer has turned to the digital banner, the post. That's now the flyer. And specifically know in this neighborhood, this zip code, this demographic, these people. So now the publisher, you guys, has turned to the digital marketing media business. So how I went from print to digital was I realized, you guys, I was no longer a publisher anymore. I was a digital media marketing company. So when you walk into a client now, you have 4 or 5 different ways that you can market to people. And that is a wonderful thing. So the next thing we're going to talk about, you guys, is distribution and how that is very different right now and how it is wonderful. My publications, you guys, have always been free or complimentary. So I had an advantage on publications who were actually charging for their magazines or their books, or they only did print media like graphics and folders. I was always kind of free. So now that we're digital, it's still free. So I don't lose any money. I'm not seeing a number in my head, and I don't have contracts with writers, with producers, with content creators on my magazines. Back in the day, you guys, there were 2 different words that were used for publishers: distribution and readership. If you charge for your magazine, for example, or your book, your word that you would use was distribution, right? Because that means you're distributing 20,000 copies to Barnes & Noble or whatever it is, 7-Eleven or wherever the newsstands are like that. And then after the magazines were out there for a month that was selling your book, would send you your copies that didn't sell back, or you'd pick them up, and then they would pay you for what was sold, and then you would actually have your readership. But usually they sold you when advertising on the distribution, right? And people really understand that, yeah, but readership could be really low. When I came to the market with my free publication, the way that I did it was that I was sponsored by the minority community, Minority Success Magazine. The Black minority community in Kansas City are the ones that sponsored us. So I could say whatever I wanted to say. I could promote whatever I wanted to promote. You may or may not, but one thing that's really, really awesome right now is that you guys understand this. The readership is now higher. The most I could ever dream of having before my print was about 250,000 readers in the city per issue. I wanted to have readers in Africa. I had to send copies to Africa. When I have readers in the next city, they had to go to the next city. That was how I did it. Readership now is higher than ever. It's a really big advantage for you. They say that people that read online actually read higher content. They read more content. So they read the whole entire article or the whole magazine more than now before. And now you can target directly to them. So they may be reading your content and may even be knowing it, so that the readership is actually higher than ever before. But now, number 7, you guys, we're talking about higher readership. You guys, when it comes to print, digital, higher readership is crazy. Now the readership of my publications is bigger than ever before. And not only is it higher, but it's more diverse. Before, when you have your regular print, you can only really go where your print is. So if you're a magazine for Kansas City, or a magazine for Chicago, or a magazine for chefs, or a magazine for women, then pretty much you're going to meet those women who read your content in that physical demographic where they're distributed. Whereas now you can reach global, anybody all over the world, you can reach them. That's the biggest advantage of readership right now. So you could be reading that article online and not even realize you're reading the magazine. But instead of having the whole magazine at your house and looking through it and not focusing on, oh, here's one article I care about because I like beauty. And you read that only, you waste the whole magazine. Now you're specifically looking for what you like about beauty. And what happens is now we have more readership with that, because now people are getting exactly what they want, and they're getting it when they want it. If you look at all the ads, all the features and promotion from that one issue content, for example, collectively, it could be easily 200, 300,000, 500,000 by the time the magazine actually comes out in print. So what happens for us is that now we can reach 1 million people minimum per year, easy. We try for 1 million per issue. Another benefit to readership is, I would always say to my team, man, we make our money before the magazine comes out. Our magazines were free, right? So when you're thinking about print to digital and you're comparing the two, they're not the same. Our next thing here, you guys, number 8, you guys may not realize this. You may know what it means, but SEO, you guys, search engine optimization. Before, this wasn't even an option. And a lot of you guys out there, if you're techie, I got you. Today's online readers actually search for content specific to them, or titles, their interest, for example, like travel or lifestyle, home decor. And the online people, they actually consume more. They read full articles, for example, whereas if you're in print, you may not finish the whole article, or the book take you a long time to finish. But if you're online with a Kindle, you can be on the plane anywhere and you can read it anytime. It's easier to access. They watch full videos, so maybe the article or the ad or the promotion or your menu, for example, doesn't just have the physical hard copy. You make a digital online, you do videos, you do cookbooks and things like that. So it's actually to you. People will watch the whole video, and then they share, they download, they tap the button, and they can buy on the spot. But that is like walk-in traffic. You need a website. They have a great website promo that helps your name get out there, helps your business be searchable, and it gives you an online space for your business. The issue is that you want people to come up when they're looking for things that you provide: delivery, hamburgers, tacos, facials, liposuction. You want to come up under those things. And the easy, simple way that you do that, when you write your post, it's not enough to just say today or at the moment or are you hungry? No, you want to think, what are people searching for, so that your post, especially if you're on your website, says in the very first word, delivery today or burgers today, things like that. So before, that wasn't an issue. That wasn't an opportunity for us. When we were doing print copies before, we couldn't actually do it. We couldn't actually reach people with that. So search engine wasn't even around. Nowadays, people are already telling you what they're looking for. It's already in their search engine. They eat every day, right? So if they're a person that orders delivery, in their search engine, it already knows on their feed that they like delivery. So they're going to be sent ads, boosted ads, pay for advertisements, but also content on their social media from places or things that deliver. You guys, number 9, you guys may not think about this too, but I put this in here. You don't really understand the power of this, okay? Multimedia. I was an entrepreneur initially. Entrepreneur, business, family, brick and mortar, restaurants. So we were a very hands-on family. My publishing career started part-time as a passion for writing. I liked to write. I was always a writer. I liked poems when I was younger. I wrote plays when I was in elementary school. My dad always said to me that writing was my gift and it could set me free. But in the USA, being a writer doesn't always pay the bills. I began simple and I grew organically as a writer. I never really saw it as a business firm. Then I contributed as a writer. I wrote for law firms back in the day, press releases and things like that. Then I got into politicians as well, as I wrote business and marketing plans, and especially with racism and discrimination in the States back in the day. It was impossible. There's no way. Until I realized later, when I took over that small niche market magazine I told you about in Kansas City, that Current News magazine, I quickly realized that it was a lot easier for me to sell advertising, content writing, graphics, and marketing than to sell the components of the advertising, such as marketing, logo development, photography, copywriting, websites, cards, etc. In the beginning, people called me, I was in the media business, until later they saw me as marketing. Then they saw me as a publisher, and now they see me as a digital marketing company. But ultimately, you want to be multimedia. What that means is you want to make sure that your whatever it is can be in multimedia places, print media, digital media, online media, things like that. So multimedia is a key now. So how I went from print to digital is I made sure that when I started with my print, that I had my designers, my photographers, everyone, they already knew we're using this for multimedia, because now you can reach people wherever they're at. We're getting to number 10 now. The next one, you guys, online distribution sites. They changed the game, you guys. You may not understand this if you're just starting out in printing or anything like that. They are wonderful because just like before, when we had to put the physical magazines into the stores and businesses and events and then wait and see what happened, now I can direct market into the hands of readers and my magazines in full or in part and worldwide, you guys. I can change the languages. I can also do all that pretty easy. Plus, now there are online distributors like Magster.com, there's like Readly, and there's apps like iTunes as well, where you can see our magazines, our ebooks on iTunes, but you can also see it on Google Play Store. You can see it on the App Store, but they usually cost a fee to upload, or maybe they are free to do it. It depends, right? Then you can make money by readership minutes, or like Netflix, for example, right? Remember, each platform is different. For example, if you have a cell phone and you have an ebook and it's on an app, they can download it directly. There's no issue. They can search it. It's there on the App Store, and they download it. It's built to their monthly bill. They don't have to pay it now, and you get paid after the month, right? So they have it. And the digital version usually is really, really nice that they provide. They can Zoom, they can share it, they can download it so they can read it offline. And if they have the app, like My Books, for example, they can read my book offline. So even if they don't have continuous Wi-Fi, but when they download it, they can now read it or share it, and they can read it offline. So online distribution is exactly that. Is that what you want, is to be able to distribute your content anywhere, online, to anybody, anywhere in the world, and they can convert to their own language, or you can have different language conversions of your own as well. Keep that in mind too. We have our bonus right now for you guys, and competitive pricing is one of the things that I believe that you guys are going to love about being digital compared to print. I'm now able to charge as much as I did before, right? So I can still charge about the same for advertising, sponsorship, promotions, and things like that, and make much more profits. It's more profitable now than it was before because I don't have to have all the overhead. I've outsourced all of my things that I've done before, like photography, graphics, makeup. I don't do any of those things in-house anymore. Printing, distribution, that's all outsourced now. And then, or I can choose to charge less and push more competitive pricing. So I can either charge the same, have a better overhead and less overhead and have more profits, or I can use it competitively in pricing to where I can now undercut the competition because now I've leveraged my company so I can do that. What happens is no restaurant's going to say to you, it's $25 for this meal. But if you eat it here, of course, there's the waiter, the busboy, the dishwashing, the service, the hostess, the seating, the cleaning the table, the disinfectant, all that stuff, right? What happens is, if you think about it, they charge the same price, but now all they have is delivery. So if you're a real restaurant and now you deliver, you have an online edition, it's actually cheaper for you now than it was before. But usually you guys are not going to give a discount to it. Or maybe they say free delivery, but they're saving money on that by not doing it in-house, usually. The same with publishers like me, for example. My magazines are in print, online, digital. Digital copy is actually cheaper than printing, obviously, right? But the price for it or the price for advertising usually is the same. Me, myself, I've lowered my advertising prices. I've lowered my client prices. I give easy retainers now. We actually have a $25 $9.99 promo that's going to roll out next week, you guys, for clients that are in Bulacan. But now with COVID-19, everything has changed, the new normal. Now people are realizing, consumers and owners of businesses alike, even the celebrities, right, are realizing online digital is where it's at. You've got to bump up your game to do that. And if you want to, like I said, you can choose to make more profits, but you can also use the leverage and the lower overhead to give more competitive prices to your customers and help them out more, because now you can help them more ways. You can do videos, online, digital, all those things. That's competitive pricing, you guys. So the last thing I'm going to talk to you about, you guys, you might not think about this, but the big bonus I'm talking about is financial freedom, you guys. Print to digital gives you financial freedom. No doubt about it. No bullshit. Financial freedom. You do not have a clue of how stressful it was for me dealing with printers, bounce checks, credit cards, meeting clients, billing payments, tons of staff, overhead. The digital situation has changed the game to where I can live anywhere in the world with my laptop, and I can do my live shows, I can publish my magazines, I can do it with my printers, and my printers, if I do need hard copies, I can ship directly from my printer. So the financial freedom comes to the fact that guys like me or guys like you don't need to be there anymore. Now you can print on demand if you want. I like to just print and I have them sitting somewhere, but print on demand so you have no loss. You can be financially free to go do whatever you want to do because you don't have to be part of the system anymore. Who signs checks anymore? Who has a checkbook anymore? Back in the day, you had to fill out all these checks and have them pre-done and deposit and then balance a checkbook. No one has to do that anymore. I can pay my printer online. He can pay me online if there's a reimbursement or something like that, for example, online. My clients can buy something and never talk to me. Thanks again, you guys, for joining. I appreciate it. I had a great show today. Thank you very much. I love you all. Again, you guys, Kareem Jackson, live on the set, you guys. I am out of here. Remember this, you guys. Success is for everyone. It is for you. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm glad that you were here, you guys. Until next time, I'll see you later.